tres, cuatro.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the 6 o'clock edition of Pagan Day of Prayer. Joining me is Dottie the Psychic.
Hello, my dotlings. We're here on prime time. I got the best spot.
Yeah, 6 o'clock evening. Come get your news. Come enjoy. So how are you doing? It's been a while.
I am doing all right. I actually, it's funny because a lot of the people around me know that I've been having a bit of I don't want to use clinical terms because I've been having a brain thing going on. An anxiety episode, a bad one, just because I think I came out of the depressive episode. So the energy doesn't just you don't just get happy.
Right.
You don't just get happy, you get nerves. And I'm starting to level out, so that's good.
I understand. Completely understand. So, what has been happening in your world?
Well, I have been working on, I'm actually missing a business meeting for Metro Valley Pagan Pride. I double booked and I didn't realize I'd done it until last week. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No, there's only one of me. You gotta love that ADHD magical thinking, or I honestly think I can be in exactly two places at the exact same time.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But
well, hello, Metro Valley Pagan Pride.
They are actually, I think they're going to meet in half an hour or so. So I may try to catch the very tail end of the business meeting since it's down in Dunbar. But we've been moving and shaking. We just had our Astara event Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And we had people from the local kindred doing kids crafts. We had, of course, the Spiral Grove. The Unitarian Universalist congregation hosted it. We basically just let us use their building. And Spiral Grove is like the pagan. I don't know exactly how that works, but I think they're like a subset of the church. I'm not entirely sure how their structure works, but they're the pagan group from the UUC.
Okay.
And so we did a collaborative event with them, and it was absolute chaos as always leading up to it. And then you get there and you just have a wonderful day. And we had quite a few, a lot of the community movers and shakers were there. I'm hoping to have more people show up with their kids next year because it was supposed to be a kids event. And I think that just the cold kind of kept people away. But other than that, it was actually a really good event. We made a little money, had a good time. We had a sweets and pepperoni roll contest, and my fiance won the pepperoni roll contest.
Oh,
really
awesome!
Good. Yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting way to feed people without being responsible for food. Make sure people had snacks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hello, Aaron. I see you.
Let's see, Donna's here and Shannon's here as well. Hello.
Hello, Donna. Yes, Dottie and Chaos. That is I am a yo-yo of the gods. I am the divine fool. Or moron. I don't know which.
Dottie.
That's what, you know what though? That kind of is the truth though. Anytime I get too serious, too wrapped up in myself, that's almost guaranteed to to crack my brain just a little bit. And there's enough cracks in that brain already. Some people suffer from madness. I try to enjoy mine.
Right. I kind of have to.
Thank you, Donna. That means a lot.
Yeah.
So Donna's watching. If anybody else is watching, you don't know who Donna is. She is the leader of Appalachian Pagan Ministry, and she's done amazing, amazing work. She's actually sent us quite a bit of material because she can, you can only come down, like, she's up in Parkersburg and we're down in Charleston. So geographically, it's not really ideal for her to come to extend that program all the way down. So we're trying to do like something to
Mhm.
get pagan recovery in the Charleston area. And she probably doesn't feel like she's been a big help, but she has.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely sure.
She sent us like all sorts of resources. I think I got like, I don't even remember. My brain is not working fabulously today. It doesn't work great any day, but the last couple of days it's been like that ADHD anxiety fog that just kind of happens. I've got mental health issues and it's all just part of the Dottie experience.
We talk openly about it whenever we get together.
Oh, we do. You remember that whole episode where we did nothing but talk about like our darkest days?
Yes.
That live stream, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot make my whole channel about this, but damn, it needed to be talked about. Yes,
Yeah.
pre-wedding stuff definitely is part. 40 days, y'all, 40 days until I get hitched again, which I gotta tell you, like, it's going so much better than the first time. The groom is amazing to start out with. People, like, nobody wanted my first wedding to happen, so I was kind of left out on a limb because everybody hated the guy I married. And everybody loves the guy I'm marrying now, so they all want to pitch in. They're like, yes, lock it down. You know?
Well, you two are really good together. Being around the two of you, the energy that y'all give off together is beautiful.
It is amazing. He's amazing. I hope to be worthy of the love he gives me, and that's
You are.
that's how you know. That's how you know. I'm like, I don't even know where to go from that. We have been working on. So guess what? So, in proper chaos. So let me explain. I want to explain chaos magic to everybody just real quick, because this is the thing that chaos magic is technically left-hand path. Like, I'm not. It really is. Essentially trying to take a scientific view of magical aspects. The idea is that there is literally no dogma. So there are plenty of groups that will break off and kind of get into some weird dark crap and call themselves chaos mage, but literally the moment you come up with a solid dogma, you're probably not a chaos mage anymore. And it is strange. And if you notice, like, a lot of the stuff that Metro Valley Pagan Pride does, it's very pagan umbrella type, but also I invite like Satanists in. Like, we were trying to have a atheistic Satanism class from the TST, or somebody who is associated with the TST, come to Metro Valley Pagan Pride, and he came all the way from Michigan to do that class, and we ended up not doing it because we had overlapped the entertainment with classes, which we're not doing this year. We learned our lesson. Classes in the morning, entertaining in the afternoon, because if you try to turn that stuff adjacent, it don't work out so good. People want to see stuff and hear stuff. They would rather be entertained than go to the classes, but they really want to go to the classes. So we figured some things out. But that's also ADHD, so we will make it all the way. This train will make it to the station, folks.
Yep.
But essentially, chaos magic is inherently individualistic, which is why Metro Valley Pagan Pride stepping up and wanting to build a community around it may seem strange. But the truth is that I can choose my own morality. And I get my morality from the people that I love, people that I respect. And so my dad, he was like, because he was raised Baptist, proper Southern Baptist with all them strange morals. And he said, and he says, I've only got two. By the time you kids came around, I've only got two left, and those are the two I want to give you. He told me to be honest and be kind. And as I started to study like more Western occultism, before kind of just going headlong into Chaos Mage, I learned about the two pillars, mercy and severity. And for the life of me, I can't remember the pseudo Hebrew names.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I was actually watching somebody who spoke Hebrew go through the ritual. Just one of those random YouTube videos. I think it was Esoterica that the guy actually could read Hebrew and whatnot. Or no. It was Angela Puca's Symposium. If you get a chance and you're on YouTube, check out Angela Puca. She is a scholar. She is a academic resource for occultism. And she was talking how basically, like, if you find use in this ritual, that's great, but just understand that this is not what it's being billed as. Like, this is how the pieces got put together, and it's really, really interesting. And she did one episode that was just on the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. ADHD, we have made it. We're out on a limb again.
Look, okay? I know how you are, and I love you for it, and I let you go. If I need to rein you in, I will. And
I just don't know where the rest of that limb is. It just like kind of dead ended on me. I'm like, yes, go watch Angela Puca. Where were we before? I think the pillars are him and Boaz. I'm pretty sure that is too, but here's the thing, like, so this is something that my girlfriend makes fun of me all the time because I still say Samhain.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people say Tarot. I'm like, well, if you read the word but you haven't heard the word, you're going to use your own language, which is part of why we can't read Old English. But we're like Chinese culture where they use kanji and those symbols represent an idea rather than a sound. They can still, they could dig up a 1,000-year-old scroll and be able to basically read it today. Whereas we would not be able to because the words for those things have completely changed.
Yeah.
And we might be able to recognize sentence structure, but like the actual verbiage. I remember in high school, my English teacher, AP English teacher, read something in Old English, and I understood like 5 words. It was beautiful, but I only understood like 5 words.
Yeah.
Like trying to read Middle High German.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Mm-hmm.
I think I should have washed my cup. Yep, that's my cup. It stinks. It's fine.
So are you on coffee or tea?
I am drinking Pepsi.
Oh, okay.
Probably do need to drink more tea. I miss doing tessiomancy. That's not something you get a lot of calling for. Like,
No.
That's definitely one of those, like, somebody you invite to your house or something to do.
Yeah, you need that one-on-one. You should offer that in your office.
I actually have a friend of mine, because I had a list for things I wanted for the office, and she actually got me like a kettle, and I can do tea fleeting. That's right. That's the word. Tessiomancy. Tassiomancy? I always want to call it tessiomancy because I think tea, but it's actually TA. So it's Tassio?
Tassio, I think.
Yeah. Learning to read the dregs. That's literally what it is. Okay, so chaos magic. That's where we were coming from. My dad gave me 2 morals. He said, be honest and be kind. And those are kind of things that, just structurally speaking, if you can keep it between these 2 lines, and at least you're knowing you're going in relatively right direction and you don't have to worry about things like karma and stuff like that. But even like breaking down karma, like we're each other's karma, it's definitely an energy signal. The whole law of attraction makes sense, but it makes more sense if you kind of think of there being sort of a separation there. You're not like... It's also like the Kabbalion. Mind is magic, where you're actually creating things in this other world and then taking real action to go and do those things. So like people don't realize, like when I go to do a ritual, like yes, I do circle casting and return to cinders and a lot of the basic stuff. But when I do real magic, when I'm really trying to do real magic, it is more likely that rather than going to pray to the gods, I will center myself, set my intent, and then go talk to somebody that can help me make happen what I need to happen. Like, what is my first step? Google becomes a sacred tool real quick if you know how to use it. Like, it's more like a sacred consort. You just call Google a whore? I did. I'm so sorry. Sorta. Only sorta. Found some shady shit on there. Don't ever Google a three-eyed turtle. Of course, my logo would be some sort of Urban Dictionary sex term. It's just where we live, folks. That's just where we are.
Oh, Dottie, I've missed you.
I missed you too, dear. I know we seem to try and get stuff together a lot. I would love to do like a grand West Virginia pagan pride. Like get us and do we have anything going on more south?
No, and that's well, see, the whole reason for Central was to bring everyone together. And then your area, it's massive.
Yeah, it's massive. We're trying to get something. I have a couple people who are interested in trying to get stuff together in Huntington. The course in every group, because we're such a small population. Every pagan thinks they're the only pagan in the freaking mountains.
I know.
Like it's me and my 5 friends, and we've got a coven. I'm like, this is how the cult gets started. See, I'm telling you, this is why, like, and a big reason to start Pagan Pride as a religious group that is not, I mean, a religiously affiliated group, rather than, like, we're not a, like, in a lot of ways, it's like, the Christian fellowship groups where they're not a specific kind.
Yeah.
Like, we're a pagan group, but we're not a specific breed of pagan. And like I said, I would definitely welcome, chaos, which is like magical. It's kind of like magical absurdism. That's wow. I've been watching too much philosophy tube.
Well, that's like what me and Donna were talking about earlier, because with Appalachian Pagan Ministries, they span the pagan umbrella.
Right.
So does Rowan Temple of Light. So does Metro Valley.
Right. Like we're the ones that kind of grow. And then inside of that, there are a lot of individual groups practicing individual religions. Like we've got Black Forest Clan down here, which is the coven that was started, well, not coven, the clan. That's what it is. The Black Forest Clan, the clan that was started by Silver Ravenwolf. That's how Phoenix was able to get her down here for Witchy Weekend.
Yes.
Because he knows her personally, because they're all part of the same group. Also, we've got the Kindred, which is, heathenism. Trying to keep heathenism and hedonism, like, definitely 2 different things. And of course my the eclectic ones, all of us, the eclectic ones, you cannot get and there's still like whole, and I have personal contacts with whole sects of pagans that are never gonna come out of the mountains. Like they've been practicing the same Appalachian root work magic kind of down in the dirt And that is how they live their life. And they are never coming into an event because they think that we are all new agey weirdos. And I'm not going to call them wrong, but also you're welcome too.
Right?
I've been trying to get, I reached out to like the Native American population because there is a powwow in Fayetteville in like October.
Okay.
And because I was trying to get them to come to the event so that they could promote theirs, trying to get people to like just come together is like the hardest part.
I know.
And it's funny because a lot of us down here, like, they're part of Spiral Grove and the Kindred, and they're part of Metro Valley Pagan Pride and the Black Forest Clan. So you've got like all these little pockets, and we're finally starting to kind of come together and organize, which is it's difficult. It's a lot of growing pains. And I got to be the dumbass who thought they were going to organize this shit, and now people are listening to me, and I don't know what to do. I'm not used to people. I'm still not used to people listening to me, and now, like, I'm doing my best. Like, any leader who is not willing to accept that they might be stupid is too stupid to do the job.
Right, absolutely.
If you're not willing to admit that you might be too crazy for the job, then you probably are too crazy to do the job.
See, our craziness is what we have in common, Dottie.
Not drinking any more of that. I just scraped something weird out of there. Well, that's done.
No.
That's my fantasy team. I'm working on it. I actually do have somebody who's willing to have space for a small recovery group. It's just a matter of just logistics at this point, which I told her, I'm like, look, I'm not doing anything until after my wedding. When I get back from Salem, Massachusetts, then we'll talk. But
so that's what you're doing on your honeymoon?
Yep, we're going to Salem. Like, you know, we're a proper pagan couple. Like, oh my God.
Dottie, that look in your eyes. I love it.
I'm so excited because I went to Salem once before, but I went with the asshole. And now I'm going back with somebody who's actually like a decent human being, but also just like a really cool, decent human being. And I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. I'm really excited. Like, I want to take them back to the places I went to before so we can like see them together, like get us a reading and like go see the pirate museum. I remember there was a pirate.
All the bad memories. Replace them with good memories.
Well, here's the thing. Like during that trip, we were only there for like 2 days, and the first day of those 2 days he slept through the whole thing. I'm like, I woke up at 10. I'm like, I'm not going to stay in the hotel and watch you sleep all day. So I left and I explored the town alone. So they're not terrible memories of Salem, but like I can't wait to have those memories with my what will be then husband.
Yep. Shout out to Aaron. Gotta give him a shout out.
Mr. Bertram. He's truly wonderful human being. It's like he you know, the chaos in me recognizes the chaos in him. And it is amazing. Like we are grooving at the same wavelength, and I've never met somebody who grooved so close to the same wavelength as I do.
Oh, I feel that, Dottie. I feel it. Yeah. All right. So speaking of chaos.
So I was telling you earlier about how when I do rituals to center and focus, and I believe in the manipulation of energy. But also, I appreciate building the web. Like, if you look at this is a prime example. Each one of these is a different spot, but they're all connected through a web. So, one of the first real fundamental meditations that I learned when I started on the Western occultism path was the single point meditation. And there is a lot in that meditation. I think people should do it, but essentially you have to stare at a wall for like 10, 15 minutes at a time, basically till you start to lose focus on your single point on the wall, and consider the mathematical definition of a point, which I had written down somewhere. It's basically a point is a marker. Mathematical definition of a point is an exact location with no height, width, depth, or mass, represented by a dot. Dottie, dot. I thought it was cute.
That is.
But even the dot, yeah. So that was like the first meditation. We're obviously, there's no way that we're going to be able to guide everybody through everything you can learn from doing this meditation in a single podcast ever. Like it can be, I still sometimes return to it because it reminds me to reflect on my own perception. Mm-hmm. So I want us to go through a guided meditation, and that's going to be my prayer for this. And yes, instead of doing like a prayer to a deity, which I do have deities, and I'd love to do shout out to Kali Ma and Hecate and Buddha, because they have all pulled my ass out of the mud. Occasionally Jesus, he's a great orator, he's good, he's a peacekeeper, which is hilarious. He is a cursed God. I feel sorry for Jesus. I really do. He is a cursed God. He came down here. He said, bring peace, let's be nice to each other. They nailed him to a piece of wood and have been smearing his name ever since. He's a cursed God. I feel sorry for him.
Right.
I'm like, he's literally the God of the persecuted. I'm like, but you're not that persecuted. Like, you took the wrong part of that story. You really got the wrong... Just saying. Just my 2 cents.
Okay.
Anyway, I feel sorry for Jesus.
Yes.
Also, Papa Legba, which is, I know that there's some controversy about, the whole idea of cultural appropriation. But honestly, like, if you start to, as a KO, I started to look at the gods as being their own beings. Like, they are not beholden to us. Like, yes, you should, if you choose to follow a deity and make friends with a deity, you should learn about that deity. But I've learned, rather than like a dedicate or a, rather than being like a dedicate of a god, I make friends. And I have this tendency that it is my... I don't know how to put it. I don't usually... This is part of why I don't really have any titles to my name. Like, it's not Reverend Dottie. It'll never be High Priestess Dottie. Sister Dot. If you call me Sister Dot, like, there's one person I let get by with it because she's a really, really close friend. And honestly, it's kind of earned the title. But just being called Sister Dot or Sister Dottie is ooky.
Okay.
Is a little culty, little, I'm like, yeah, there's like, it's funny. Where was I going? I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time focusing right now. I'm still going through, like, even though like I'm pulling it together, I've still got the brain fog of what's probably a hypomanic phase.
I understand. Yeah.
We stand mental health because we got no choice. We can either stand mental health or it can stand on us.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the meditation. So the single point meditation, the concept is to basically to redirect your point of consciousness, to be able to remove your point of consciousness from yourself and to reflect back on yourself. So in many ways, it's kind of like a mirror meditation. But you're not reflecting on yourself as yourself. You're reflecting yourself as somebody outside of the part of you that is perpetually perceiving. You're breaking your psyche up. I got one more crack in the system. Who knew? Okay, so let's get the energy right. So I'll take a couple of good deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to reach into your heart and connect with your spirit self. That point that is almost nothing more than a shining light reflecting upon itself. Like a golden orb, we see ourselves separate from what we think we look like. We're separate from the world around us. And simply see ourselves as a glowing ball of light that we are looking at. And as you see this glowing ball of light that is yourself, I want you to now return your perception to that ball of light and look outward amongst the black sky and see the other balls of light. Take a moment here, make sure, and try to reach a beam out to the nearest other ball of light. And as you do, I want you to see the beams that connect so many balls of light, like a gigantic connect the dot mesh that creates a globe around us. Know that each one of these balls of light is another self. They're both you and not you. They are other and the same. They are another unique perspective of this great net of being. Now I want you to return into your single perspective and see the rays of light that are emanating from you around your vision. So if you're a ball of light, you would not see the ball of light, but you would see the rays coming out from yourself, out to the left and out to the right from your being. And an understanding that you cannot actually see yourself. You can only see what you project forward and is reflected back to you. I want you to take a moment here, and with those rays of light, I want you to cast love into the chaos around you, into the other balls of light. I want you to feel the love in your heart and share that love with the light next to you. I want you to feel yourself receive that love from others, as other balls of light also send you good vibes. That same. When you're ready, I want you to float back down into your body. Get back into that worldly perception and know that it is not who you are, but merely the means by which you interact with this world. And once you feel like you are back into this fleshy meat suit, I want you to open your eyes and come back to reality. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your nose, and and I want you to laugh. Like,
Oh, that was good.
you know what? It's funny because I just got done reading one of like the fundamental books on chaos magic. And it's a Peter Carroll, don't know which. Anyway, and he it's a pretty dark book in places. Like it's very woke for the time because this thing was written in the 80s, and you can definitely see the existential dread that was like the 80s 90s period, waiting for the great turning over of everything. I'm like, well, some things never change. But it was very forward thinking for the time, but also it was still just like scientifically morbid in some of the magical practices, like talking about death magic and making people sick, and also healing magic, like covered the whole thing. But one of the things that he brought up was that laughter is the only emotion that is the opposite of itself. It is the most mature of emotions. And so the laughter meditation is good for everything. It is a banishing, it is an energy raiser, it is a good way to recenter yourself. And so I want to teach you one real quick one that you can take with you out into the grand world of nonsense, this third dimensional meat grinder. So we're going to start, you're going to count. First time, laugh, ha. And then second, you laugh twice, ha ha. And the third time, you lose it on camera in front of everybody again, ha ha ha.
Well, that certainly opens you up.
It does. It's a divine prayer. So what'd you think?
That was good. That
I think
was
I
great.
got the better part, like the most important key parts of the single point perspective. And again, this is one of those like you kind of have to be careful of, because there are definitely meditations that you can get into. Like I don't even remember what person I was reading or watching, but a lot of the occult stuff, a lot of the Western occultism, I will give them this. This is like the one thing. This is part of why I went with them instead of like just generic self-help, because a lot of self-help communities won't give you the black box warning. They won't tell you that you could slip into a cult pretty easily. And I always thought that was a little dirty. But like Western occultism is like, it's called the lonely path because you're on your fucking own. And this is going to cause, you're going to be crazy. You might be total batshit by the end of this. Like you can really hurt yourself just kind of going willy-nilly, which is probably part of the speech impediment at this point. Like, you know, if you're going to sacrifice part of your brain, I guess the English language center is not the worst to lose. I blame COVID.
Go for it. Yeah.
So what'd you think, Aaron? I see you talking down there.
So anybody have any questions for Dottie? I think you did great. Thank you very much.
Anytime. It's been a lot of fun.
I know.
You know, it does take us back. Like, I know the other ones have only been like 30, 40 minutes, right? I don't know why I thought I was going to have to get on here and talk for 3 hours. Like, well, yes, English is hard.
No.
Webster was an ass hat. I'm just saying.
I have it's one of my pride and joys in the library, a 1950s Webster dictionary. And that sucker is like huge.
My grandparents had a genuine encyclopedia. It's a shelf. It was 2 shelves.
Wow.
It was amazing though. Like it was funny because of course this thing's from like the 1950s. I think it was a wedding gift they'd gotten. Honestly, if I had the space, I would have taken it with me, but like I lost so much. It was like a house. It wasn't like, I don't know how to describe it, but like I call it the Great Purge. When I left my ex, I lost almost everything. Almost everything. So like, but it was you'd go in there and you'd look stuff up and it would be so out of date. Even in the 90s, you're like, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's what that is. I'm like, this is what they had before Google, kids. You actually had to be able to spell. Like, you had to be able to spell. And they were trying to teach me how to spell. So they're like, well, go look up the word. I'm like, I can't spell well enough to go find the word, which is why I usually try to take pity on spell check. But spell check has done me wrong just enough for us to not be friends anymore.
Oh my gosh, you just made me have a flashback to my childhood.
Evicting squatter. You know what? My aunt called my divorce my 350-pound diet. Compared it to weight loss. I was like, I definitely feel lighter. They call it a dump because it's like taking the best shit of your life. I'm sorry, Gwen, what were you saying?
I don't even remember now. Oh.
Prime time, baby! See, you know what though? This is part of how I pray. By making you feel better, we as sitting up here laughing and spreading joy, we are decreasing the negativity in the world. We are increasing the positivity, and it may not be a huge amount, but even if we get our little serotonin boost and we can go out and be nicer to people, that shit will eventually make it all the way to around the world.
Absolutely. I just need to be nice for a while.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask that much of you, honey. I don't expect that shit. I don't expect what I can't do. Listen, I posted.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'll keep going as long as you let me. Listen, I actually posted on my Facebook, and I feel bad about it now, and I'm probably gonna put like an actual adult post up, like something that's a little more toned down. But I was like, look, you all have got until the 29th of March to ask me any stupid questions or bring up whatever dumb beef you got with me.
Yes.
Because after that point, I will not be the adult. And I kind of feel bad about it now because what I really meant to ask, what I really wanted to ask and meant to ask was, if anybody has any questions about paganism or my gender, then please feel free to anonymously submit those. But that is not how I put it. That is not how I put it at all. I had a little tantrum on the YouTube, on the Facebook.
I know, but I was so proud of you.
It's like this. I was like, oh my God, this was not prompted by a human being. Just a whole bunch of stress all at once. This is the fact that my article was due today for our Metro Valley Pagan Press, and I didn't get it done. This is I've double booked on top of Metro Valley Pagan Pride meeting. I hope that's I don't know.
You're pagan? What the fuck?
I know, it's such a terrible thing. Oh my God, like my very Catholic aunt, and I love her dearly. She did not ask me, like, I know she doesn't think I'm like torturing animals or anything, but she would just ask me stuff. She'll say stuff just to get a rise out of you. So she's like, so your wedding, are you going to have an animal sacrifice? I'm like, my girlfriend looks at her and says, we don't really do that anymore. Are y'all still doing the crusades? And I was like, only if my future mother-in-law shows up.
That's a whole nother story, though, isn't it?
Oh God, I'm bringing it up. Everybody in the valley knows what a crazy bitch she is. Why do divorces? Oh, Aaron's like, a terrible joke a coworker once told me. He was smart enough not to get married before. Like, he's smart enough to dodge the ex. Whole concept. Why do they cost so much? Yeah, because they are worth it. Absolutely. I wouldn't want to pay for it again, but I would.
Yeah.
Donna, you know you're on the right channel. You are among your people.
All right. So, what is coming up for you and everything you've got going on down there?
Oh Lord. Of course the wedding, which is not a public event, but that's big. Staticky noise, brain fog. There's things and stuff. Okay, so tonight is Metro Valley Pagan Pride's business meeting, but we will be having another one in April. When I can't tell you, crap, I guess I better send off my article. Has the announcements on it too. Hold on a second. I just realized I really screwed up. I didn't get my article done, but I put all the announcements on top of the article. I'm sorry, Lisa, if you're watching. I am so sorry. Yeah, our next meeting is April 22nd, and that is at the Dunbar Library. My niece told me she was so broke she was going to have to start selling her panties, and I was like, you know what? Let's figure this out. We'll get some mayonnaise and some tuna. We'll find the right mix. You don't have to. If he's buying panties, he doesn't know what it smells like in the first place. So,
Oh.
Okay, so Barefoot Gypsy has a Psychic Saturday, the second Saturday of the month. Spiral Grove has a drum circle that is at the UUC in Charleston. They have a drum circle at 7 p.m. the first Thursday of every month. There is the Taze Valley Magical Meetup the second Saturday of the month at the Barnyard Barbecue in Taze Valley. And of course, Metro Valley Pagan Pride. I already told you that, didn't I? Fourth Monday at Dunbar Library. We might be changing that soon, but our next meeting is April 22nd at 6:30 at the Dunbar Library. We might find a new location just because there's a lot of scheduling conflicts with the library. Like, you know, it's a first come, first serve deal. And as summer comes, it's gonna be a bigger pain in the butt. So we might be meeting at the new metaphysical shop, and it's gonna depend on what everybody votes on, but we might be meeting at the new metaphysical shop. Autumn Sky is 311 Washington Street in Charleston. So if you're in the area, that's a great place to get all your crystals and goods and things. Of course, I have to plug my business sister, Faye Clips, Finest Incense, and specifically witchy candles. Like if you need a candle for a specific thing, then she's the person to talk to.
Absolutely.
I got the radio voice.
Absolutely.
What was with the mic change? Sound like radio. Do I sound like an old time radio? I need to work on that. I actually was trying to get onto the radio for just a minute. See, I spent a lot of money on this mic. I spent like $50 to get on this mic, but it only works when I hold it like this. But I'm too ADHD to hold it like this. I have to pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. Sorry, Don. I guess it's like the rhythmic vibrating. Like nobody likes that setting on the vibrator. Shit. Also, Crystal Kingdom is July 14th. I know that you've got Central West Virginia Pagan Pride coming up August 10th. We are starting to plan Broom Not Vroom at Hurricane Park September 21st. I know you guys got Beltane in the Hills.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I got on my announcements so far. If you would like to get your announcements in Metro Valley Pagan Press, then you can go to mvpaganpride.org, where you can sign up for the newsletter and join us. $3 a month. You can be a voting member of Metro Valley Pagan Pride and get your copy of the Pagan Press, Metro Valley Pagan Press. It sounds good. Also, check me out, Dottie the Psychic. I am still doing readings. My it's funny because I actually got nominated for Influencer of the Year on a show that has been dead for like 3 months, and I finally get a video out and it's just me. So I'm going to be trying to focus more on my content, but I'm not focusing on shit all until after the wedding. So hopefully I'll be able to pull it out of the drink right before voting.
You will be fine.
I'm sure. I mean, I've got enough really cool stuff on there. Like, there's certainly enough on there that if you haven't seen my show in a long time, there's some interesting stuff on there. Dottie the Psychic on YouTube is like it's supposed to be for people who are less experienced. That's where my tessiomancy, my osteomancy, my basic divination videos are a lot about just like some basic things. Like, that's for other people. And then like there's Madame Tortuga's Lounge, which is more for the community. It's a lot more about shameless self-promotion is the only show that's really big on there, but I'm actually trying to bring in something that will be from the articles that I've been writing for Metro Valley Pagan Press, because it's more for the actual community. So well, I know what your favorite setting on the vibrator is now, don't I? You know what?
I thought that was everybody's favorite, Dottie. Just saying.
To crack a joke about my hand being cheaper than the vibrator, and I don't have to worry about recharging the bitch. You can also find all sorts of links and cool stuff on mvpaganpride.org, but also you can find all sorts of stuff that I'm up to on dottthepsychic.com.
All right, everybody. We're going to close this down. We'll see you back. If you have like an hour and a half, I guess, until 9 p.m. And I will close out the prayer list. So if you have a prayer request, get it into me before 9 p.m. because I will be burning and offering the prayer list at that time. So,
safe
oh
travel.
My God, Donna.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. Like, you know what? That's legit, though. That's legit.
I have nothing. No. Yeah.
Welcome to the chaos. How's that for a sermon?
Whenever you get older, it happens.
Right. Well, actually, like the whole reason I was going to do like the sermon, the chaos sermon was because this is totally off subject. Was because of Aaron's like muscle cramps. Yes, honey. And we just need to exercise, baby. That's our problem. The reason I was going to do a chaos sermon, the reason I kind of jumped on it was I actually drew out this whole video, which I may go ahead and do, but I was going to try and do it as a crossover with the Mothman Ministries in Huntington, because they're doing a lot more community outreach and stuff. So if you get a chance to check out Mothman Ministries, it's run by Ollie. And he's actually a decent preacher. Like, here's the thing, like the thing about like the pagan community is it's never just been the pagan community. The pagan community is such an umbrella. We've always had like Christo-pagans, which is not something I understand, but I know that they're there and they're usually pretty decent people, right up to like the atheistic Satanists and everybody in between. And I just want everybody to know that that's what Metro Valley Pagan Pride is about. It's about showing up and hanging out together. And I've been trying to get more and trying to get more social outreach for us. So definitely, we've got a Facebook group. We're making a. I've put all the attention that I should have put in my own business into it instead for a year. Not just myself, but also Lisa, who edits our newspaper, has put in a tremendous amount of work. Rob and Cindy is running a Kindred and helping us out. So like, it's an amazing team. We have an amazing group of people. And if you get a chance to check out anything Metro Valley Pagan Pride, you'll find some of the, it's like, I would be a terrible cult leader because I only keep strong people around me. Like, you have to have personality to get in the door. But there you go.
And we all have to be able to handle crazy.
Right.
It's like
we stand ourselves because, well, as I said earlier, and this is like a catchphrase, like I've said it more and more, and the more I say it, the more true it becomes. But like, you know, some people suffer from their crazy, from their madness. I choose to enjoy mine, and I have, and I will continue to do so, even when it kicks me on my ass for fucking 4 days in a row. God, I hate anxiety. Like, there's some part of me, and like the single point perspective really did help me with my mental health as a big thing. I will keep talking as long as you let me. But like the single point perspective meditation helped me to separate myself from the anxiety, from the depression. I was able to sort of look at myself, realize that my behavior that I was not appreciative of was not necessarily a reflection of my true self, but it was a reflection of depression. And that gave me a spot from which to start working and allowed me to recognize that something that was not a part of the person that I wanted to be did not have to define me, but I did have to deal with it. You know, it's not my fault, but it is my responsibility. And that has been amazing. And it's refocused my locus of control. Refocus the locus of control. There you go.
Good.
Project Mayday is another amazing street and reduction reach downtown in y'all's area. Okay, so I'll have to look them. DM me later. Any resources, any information. Like, I've had one lady who started helping out and then her job got threatened. There's been a lot of people who said they were going to be there and then flaked out. It's hard to get people together, but especially where that intersection of paganism and recovery is at, there's so much stigma around recovery that a lot of the pagan community, unless they have to deal with it, don't. And there is such a Christian lean. Was it non-secular or secular? I can't remember. There is non-Christian recovery out there. It's a lot of atheistic things like that. But to have something for our community is very difficult. And
right.
I've got the utmost respect for you, because she says, thank you for taking this ball. I'm like, what ball? I've got a ball of Jello that's been nailed to the floor. Well, thank you, James.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I have officially dodged my presidential duties.
Oh shit!
We'll see what I get yelled at for doing tomorrow. I can't watch my mouth; it moves too fast. I try to be. I genuinely try to be. And
I'm gonna post that up so everyone can see that, because that's just it's true. It is.
I appreciate that. You know, I really appreciate it, because I kind of bowed out of the Pagan of the Year, because partially was because I didn't want people to think that Metro Valley Pagan Pride was my attempt at some sort of attention grab. Especially after, you know, I am a personality. I have my YouTube channel, so I am an attention. I like attention. I do love attention. I really like attention, but that's not the kind of attention. I didn't want that perception on Metro Valley. I'm like, okay, you know what? I will give up my shot at the cookie for the better good. And also, like, there's some really cool people running this year, and I think, did Donna got it 1 year?
No.
Donna has not had Pagan of the Year. So Donna is running. Cindy from the Kindred, she's running the Kindred and helping out with Metro Valley Pagan Pride.
Yes.
Shannon's from our way. She's the secretary, and I don't think she's going to win just because people don't recognize her, but she deserves to be publicly recognized for the work she's done for us. She has stepped in and been my adult. Like, I'm the mouthpiece. I'm the one out here, but she's the one who's like, okay, rein it in, Dottie. Okay, we need to sit down. What do we actually need to do to make this thing happen? Like, if you really want to see this happen, what are we going to do to make it happen?
Yeah.
Robin did our pamphlet. Oh, I got to show you all this. She did the bulk of the work on this. Robin Lewis.
Yes.
And it's actually really cool because I was like, and she said she's gonna help me do another one that's like like, this is the one you hand to people who are actually interested in paganism, but we're gonna do another one that is for somebody who's like trying to come out to their family. But like, just here, hand them the pamphlet and walk away. And this was gonna ease your time up. It'll keep them distracted while you can run and maybe answer some of their weirder questions.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, she's amazing, and of course I think partially because she does the deep work in the community, and she's not as thrilled. She's not gonna, if she has to get up and speak, it's to yell at everybody to pull their shit together. It's not to like, so she's not as big on speaking at everybody if she doesn't have to.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are involved in the community. I know that Jason, he's just keeping his podcast up. Like, that's amazing. Like, and I honestly, like, I would have, if, you know, this whole perspective thing, we just did a meditation on perspective. From an outsider's perspective, I would have a hard time voting between his podcast and my podcast. I think his is probably more polished. Mine is definitely more raw. But it almost comes down to a flavor thing.
Yeah.
Also, his is more consistent, not gonna lie.
Oh, I'm really excited because we do have such an amazing range of nominees this year.
From all over the state, like
yes. State. And this is what I want. I want, you know, this for everybody. You know, so many people deserve to be recognized. So if you are on Facebook, please go to the Rowan Temple of Light page, go to events, and check out Central West Virginia Pagan Pride Awards, and go in there and see the amazing people in our community and get to know them. So really, yes, really excited about that. This is the 4th year. It's grown each year. So we're still accepting nominations up until May the 1st, and then the voting will go from May 1st to July the 1st. So go and follow that event so that you can get the voting form as soon as it comes out. All right. Well,
I can try to end it again.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna end it for real, or are you gonna let me talk again?
No, we're gonna end it for real.
All right. Safe
I love you, but we're done.
To you.
Bye, Dottie.